The focus in the Middle East has recently been on keeping the peace in Gaza and then disarming Hamas. But at the same time, another danger to Israel has been rising yet again in Lebanon. Hezbollah is rearming.
Well, meanwhile, in Jerusalem, massive crowds of religious Jews protested against serving in the military. Julie Stahl has our report.
Tens of thousands of ultra-Orthodox Jewish men, known as Haredim, took to the streets, prayed, and blocked the entrance to Jerusalem for hours Thursday. They were protesting a proposed law to draft religious students into the army and the government's arrest of Haredi draft dodgers. One young man fell to his death after climbing to the top of a crane, and hundreds clashed with police.
It is not worth it to fight with each other. We are all for the Torah. We are all the children of the Creator of the world in this country, and we all need to be one people. We are all a family.
Military service in Israel is mandatory, except for the ultra-Orthodox who are exempt. That causes great political and social friction here in Israel, especially now after 2 years of war.
And I'm here today on behalf of all the reservists, all the soldiers, all the people who were injured in this war, all the families who lost their beloveds, to tell my brothers, the Haredim, join us. There is no contradiction between serving in the army and serving the Torah and studying Torah.
Later on Thursday, Hamas returned 2 more bodies of murdered hostages. Amiram Cooper, 84, one of the founders of Kibbutz Nir Oz, was kidnapped and murdered in captivity. Sachar Baruch, 25, from Kibbutz Be'eri, was taken from his mother's home when terrorists raided it. They murdered him later during an IDF rescue attempt. The bodies of 2 Americans are among the 11 remaining in Gaza. Those bodies should have been returned in the first part of the recent deal 18 days ago.
The combination of the determination of the political leadership and the resolute actions of our wonderful soldiers and commanders has led to the crushing of the Iranian Axis to bring back all our living captives.
Meanwhile, tensions are rising between Israel and Lebanon, with reports that the ceasefire is in danger of collapsing. Israel has been carrying out frequent targeted strikes against Hezbollah terrorists as they try to rearm and rebuild their infrastructure in violation of the understandings between Israel and Lebanon. According to the agreement, Lebanon is required to disarm the Iranian proxy Hezbollah, which has been slow going. However, the Lebanese army has not confronted the Israeli military. But in a sign of a shift, Lebanese President Joseph Aoun reportedly instructed the army to confront any Israeli incursion into southern Lebanon after a municipal worker was killed there. Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar met with the UN Special Coordinator for Lebanon, Janine Hennis. He wrote on X, Hezbollah, with Iran's support, continues to intensify its efforts to rebuild and rearm. This is dangerous for Israel's security, just as it is for Lebanon's future. Israel cannot bury its head in the sand in the face of this trend. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
And the world can't bury its head in the sand in the face of that trend. Hezbollah absolutely wants to wipe Israel off the map. That is their stated goal, and they want to use everything in their power to do that. They created tunnels, they created rocket launchers, they supposedly had a military as large as a European nation. We were listening to intelligence reports claiming that just 2-3 years ago. They were utterly defeated in the past 2 years, but if we allow them to yet rearm, it is an absolute danger to peace in the Middle East. And who's behind all of that? Well, Iran is. And so that funding corridor from Iran all the way to Lebanon seems to be very much intact. If the Lebanese army won't do it, we certainly can't expect the UN to do it. They were charged with a safety zone that was put in place after Israel withdrew from southern Lebanon after the last war. Right at the foot of some of the watchtowers of the UN camps, you had these incredible Hezbollah installations that were firing rockets into Israel. And it's amazing how the UN dances around that. Well, we're a peacekeeping force. We're not a peacemaking force. And somehow, if you're a peacekeeper, all you do is observe. But in that observation, they didn't even raise a flag of warning. So can we expect the UN to do anything? I think no. Can we expect the Lebanese army to do anything? It doesn't seem that they want to. They're making some public proclamations. But in the long-term interest of Lebanon, I remember it before the PLO was given sanctuary there back in 1972. And in the 1960s, it was called the Jewel of the Mediterranean, where all of the religions lived in peace and they had a wonderful government, a wonderful economy. And today it's in shambles. Wouldn't it be great for the Lebanese people to have peace and not have Hezbollah? But we'll see. But all this talk of peace, but there doesn't seem to be any change in the ideology of hate against Israel.